Okay, so here's the solar system, but first I'm gonna explain what is this. So this is in Steam. It's called Universe Sandbox, and it costs some money, like 20 euros. But now I'm gonna start to explain about the solar system. Here's the orbit of the planet. So you can see Mercury. I know this is not so realistic and they make them oval, but Mercury's orbit is actually not completely round. I know it's an oval, but in this simulation it's not completely round. They try to make it oval. So here it is. We start with the sun. The sun has its mass of the sun, about 1,000 Jupiters in mass, and radius and light second is about 2 light seconds large, as you can see. So now let's check the planets, because you know the sun is pretty big, like you know all this. You know its composition. Okay, this is the composition. Oh, no life, of course. Here's Mercury, the smallest planet. Here it is. Order period 2 months, yep. And also, it's very hot. But if we go to surface right here, you can see that Mercury's minimum temperature is 93. But no. If we go here, 139, 140, this gets hotter. And this, we gotta see the dark side of Mercury here. So here is, so the dark side of Mercury is negative something degrees, but this is on some way. So here's Mercury. Mass of Earth very little. And if you wanted to see what Mercury is compared to the moon, I'm not gonna actually spawn the moon. It's just I'm gonna show what's moon compared. So if you wanna know, Mercury's our smallest planet. So if we compare the moon to it, this would be the size, as you can see. Size comparison. Right here. So, which is really crazy, because Mercury is smaller than some moons like Titan and Ganymede. So now, anyways, yeah, don't ask what are these. Let's move on to Venus. Here's Venus. It's hot everywhere, like it's hot. It's even hot at the dark side. So Venus has a lot of mass of the Earth. It wanted to go, I don't know, a Mars mass. It would have, that's a Mars atmosphere. Okay, so if you wanted to compare to Moon's mass, it would be 66 moons. And Earth mass like this. There's no Venus mass. Age, same as the Mercury. Order period, only 7 months. There's no kilometers or something. So, if you go to years, you'll see it's like a little more than half a year. And you can see it's not tidally locked. It's not very tidally locked. Look. It's not tidally locked because it doesn't say 0 days or something. So Mercury's ingredients are actually small materials and what's the atmosphere. So you're like, I'm gonna turn off the atmosphere, the clouds, and everything. First, let's turn off the clouds. Okay, I know what will help. Turn off the atmosphere. So this is actually Venus without its atmosphere. The clouds are still on. I could turn off clouds. So, which is really great. So here's Venus. Without its atmosphere, it looks normal, but it's everywhere, as you can see. Okay, it has one magnetic field. Well, it does have one, but they forgot to add it. So, anyways, let's move on to Earth that you are in. So, there's a lot of things I'll explain for Earth. Earth, you know, mass of it. It's density. I didn't know you knew about that. Temperature 7 Celsius. That's its average, not for like worldwide. It would be like why 30 kilometers per second. Well, it's moving around the sun. Orbital period 12 months, aka 1 year. Okay, this okay. 12 months is 1 year, not 999 years. Okay, this is a glitch. I'm not gonna make it older. So look at the stars, but anyways, here's Earth's munition. So it's 1 year away. This is actually called astronomical unit, and you don't want to know how large is a parsec. So anyway, so if we look down here in composition, it has all ingredients. So this is called the composition. You can see the crust is right here. You kind of see the crust here. The mantle, this is the outer core here, and that's the inner core. Its core temperature is actually 1,000 Celsius hotter than Venus, and the chance is 92.4 on Earth. Magnetic field strength. If you want to see Earth's magnetic field, see how large it is. Alright? So it could get out the solar radius. So here's Earth. I'm not going to do metal that just got out the oceans. I don't want to spoil anything. I just want to tell about the solar system. Hey, Mars, our next home. If you're wondering. So Mars has the same stats as Earth except for water or something. Water and like temperature. That's look close, and like only a few things are off. Mars like this, and it's actually moving slower. Mars, here's the furthest rocky planet, and you're like, can you run on the planet? Or you can. So if we just keep zooming in, there you go. Here's Mars. Here's the reddish atmosphere. It is the sun. There is the sun. Okay, and like, why doesn't it shine? First, we're wearing space goggles. You see it here? If we just turn it off, that's the sun. So let's turn it back on. And that's not all about Mars. I just started telling about Mars. I forgot Mars has moons, Phobos, and Deimos. I just added them out. I'm not gonna add them again. You can just add them repeatedly. But as you can see, it's negative 105 Celsius. Wow, that's cold. Minimum temperature, max temperature is negative 65. So, okay, Mars is our next home. It's a very good one. Composition, we got good stuff. The mass, oof, but no life, like, dude. Oh yeah, look, I put the magnetic field on. It's that one. You remember we saw that video on the ghost. So now I go to Jupiter. Oh yeah, you see, like all the rocky planets are nice and close until the asteroid belts come. Here's Ceres, the small star fan. Well, anyways, look at Jupiter because we're only looking at the planets. So you can see Jupiter, like, what's all its moons? Okay, you gotta add them yourself. So I'm gonna add the moons. Oh yeah. So here are the moons. So here's Jupiter. We'll move time. This is 15 hours per second. So here's Jupiter. Its speed, look, the further you go, and yeah, it rotates quick. And you can see all the moons somehow, because Jupiter is actually 1,000 times less than the sun's mass. So here's Io, Europa, Ganymede, the shaded well, Callisto out here. So those are the main moons. If you want to run I'm gonna random one of them, okay? Europa. So here's one of Jupiter's moons, Europa. Let's random it and see its view. Okay, let's keep zooming in. Europa has no atmosphere, so you just see. Let's just go up. And you just look up. Come on. Okay, so here's Europa. I'm trying to swipe up. Yeah, okay, one. Okay, so and you look up. That's Jupiter. Because Europa is very close. That is Jupiter. Okay, that just took me a while. I'm not gonna run in all moons. That's gonna take me a little too much time. Well, the closest moon is Andromeda, but we're not gonna talk about that. So, yeah, orbital period 11 years. This is not all about Jupiter. It's so, like, Mars' minimum temperature. What's its max temperature? Honest. So, okay, so Mars' max temperature was 160 or something, and this minimum max temperature is 162, which is crazy. And here's Jupiter's moons, and those are at the actual distance. So it will be, the furthest one will be here from the sun. Okay. Saturn. You're like, can't wait to see its rings. Wait. Add rings. We first gonna add the ring because it's bounced around, its rings bound. Now you could wait to see its rings. So, by the way, this is realistic lighting. And this is how Saturn's rings shine. Oh yeah. Okay, so here's Saturn. Check out my pretty rings. These rings are okay. With its rings, nice and loaded. Okay, we're not gonna do anything to Saturn. Saturn, of Earth mass, so it was Earth. Earth's atmosphere. Grams, don't want to know grams. Okay, so if we could see its mass is 0.29, it's clearly 30% of Jupiter's mass. Almost 30 years as its orbital period, which is crazy. It also spins very fast, and it's so cold. Here's Saturn's composition, aka stuff. So here it is, right here, on the top right corner, you can see Saturn's composition. So Saturn's composition is right here, Washington Road. So, if you want to know, Saturn has life, like literally. Don't know why. It's like, apparently this game has so many glitches that I can't count them. Saturn has life. Don't know why. Saturn's the most second habitable planet in the solar system, not Mars. Whatever, that's just a glitch. Saturn doesn't have any life. I swear, Uranus has life. This simulation is getting cursed. So here's Uranus. What is its rings? I'm not gonna add them this time. So here's Uranus in realistic. So this will be in realistic. You can see it's tilted. I will try to find its poles is right here. So the poles are in the equator. So it is tilted. Uranus has life. Okay, Uranus has life. No shot, dude. Whatever. That's will never live on Uranus. It is the coldest planet in the solar system. That's actually as cold as Pluto. Whatever. So it still spins like all the gas has spin faster than Earth. This one is the slowest spinning gas giant. 83 years. So if it was 1 century, it would just do one orbit. And like one orbit, like 1 hole and 1/4. That's a century for Uranus. So, as you can see, the speed is getting slower as we move on. Add moons. Yep, it also has moons. They're like, what's Trident? Trident's for Neptune. So if we just play time, you can see the moons move so fast. Most of them are like this because Uranus is like that. Okay. Uranus only has 14 times the mass of the Earth. Composition. Walked on road and you're like, what's the hydrogen and helium? Well, you can see water got viral, and I think that's because it has some life. I better be dropping. It's not dropping. Okay, that's just I swear Neptune has life. I'm gonna get so mad. Neptune, please don't have life. Please don't have life. Please don't have life. Okay, I'm just gonna. It has life. Whatever. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Mars did not have life, but apparently gas giants do. Look at. Okay, the furthest planet. 165 years. That's crazy. Look, this is how the sun. Like, can I see the sun from here? Yeah. So you're like, why? I don't like all these orbits and stuff. Goodbye. So here would be your actual view. And you can see the sun right there. Let's just turn them on. And you can see Pluto's orbit. Like that is Pluto. I don't know where the Pluto. Probably I don't know. Whatever. Look, 5 kilometers per second. Why am I just messing around here? Let's just add the moons. There you go. So the biggest moon of Neptune is Triton. Let's try to find that one. So Triton is the furthest moon too, I guess. Look at Triton, right? Our moon radius is almost big as our moon, which is crazy. So, but it's not that dense, I guess. So here it is, Neptune. Oh my God. Yep, Triton is not the furthest moon. Well, anyways, here's Neptune. You can see it takes so long. And it's only 3 times larger than Earth. So you're like, can we compare Earth to it? Okay, we compare Earth to it. Here's Earth right here. And that's Neptune. And I just want to compare, like, I don't know, Planet 9. It doesn't even exist. They're pretty large. So, anyways, we're not talking about that. So, here's Neptune, the windiest planet. But I mean, Neptune is the windiest planet. And you're like, how hot could these moons get? Oh no. You know, there's this thing, like, wow, that's so small. Like, mine is -2 and Neptune is -7. This event is called gas giant heating. It heats things around it. Gas giant with so there it goes. Should we do Pluto? Nah, we're not gonna do Pluto. We're just gonna look at this. Look, it's colder than everything and blah blah blah. It's small. Okay, now here's our entire solar system. I don't know why they even include Pluto for like 10 seconds. So anyways, I don't know why. I just did some cool things like add all Jupiter's moons, add Mars's moons too, and also the sun does not have a gun. Well, we finished the solar system. As you can see, and you're like, how far are you? This is 94 astronomical units. So right here, in the top right middle here, where my arrow's pointing, that is the distance between Earth and the Sun. 94.7 times. So 94 holes and like 7/10, which is crazy. And you could barely see Neptune and Pluto. So, like, I don't know why, but the simulation just puts Pluto and not a little close over it. But we're not talking about Pluto. Here's the entire solar system. Did you like it? I hope you have more. See you next time.